My name is Matt Mathieson. My wife, Michaela, and I are owners here at Westo Beer. We've been open 12 and a half years now and have slowly grown our distribution across Iowa and into Nebraska. We started talking about CōZY 4 or 5 years ago, I believe, and we didn't ever have a winter beer. We wanted to brew either a winter lager or something that maybe spoke a little bit more to the cold weather up here, especially during the off season. And we've gone through, this is our third recipe now. It started as a blackberry lager, evolved into a more of an apple pie lager. And this last year we launched the Czech Dark Lager, which to everybody obviously appears darker, but really it's a lighter beer. It's got a little bit of roasted character. We always like to say color is not a flavor, and it's true for this beer. It's going to come across as very light, just a little bit of that malty character just to kind of take the edge off the cool weather. I think you're seeing more lagers being brewed now than you were, say, 5 years ago. I think the pendulum has swung kind of all the way back to the middle where people are looking for something a little bit lighter, a little bit more palatable, probably less bitter. And so we've kind of taken advantage of that with CōZY, even though, again, it's a little bit darker in color. It still has that really light lager flavor, but just that roasted character just to make it a little bit more inviting. We've actually been talking about being potentially the presenting sponsor, working with the Chamber, University of Okoboji Winter Games since before we opened. We felt like we had a handful of goals, and that was one of them. We thought, at some point we're gonna get the opportunity, and Blaine called us up from the Chamber several months ago, said, hey, the spot's open if you want it. And we didn't have to discuss it for very long. And we just figured, as a brewery, especially with the tap room here during that weekend of the Winter Games, we just felt like, you know what, who else would be a better fit than a brewery for Winter Games? I think, especially in the off season in Okoboji, it's more important that we're partnering with the Chamber, promoting the area, working with other businesses is very important to us. Of course, we distribute beer to a lot of the retailers in the area. So I think it's important for us to reach out to and make those connections and take those networking opportunities seriously so we can all gain traffic at the same time, get more traffic to Okoboji. A big part of our mission is community, and we reach out to and work with a lot of different groups in the area. Of course, summer is always a home run for really anybody that's set up here, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of partners throughout the rest of the year, especially this time of year through winter, to make things work. So I think the more connections that we can make with the Chamber and other businesses, I think we're all kind of rising the tide at the same time and helping each other out. Yeah, if someone has never been here before and Winter Games is your first weekend, it's a great weekend to visit Westo Beer. You're going to find a very busy atmosphere. In the morning, we have Hammerschlagen in the back brewery area. So that's kind of an opportunity for you to look at the brewing system and the tanks that we have. We have our extra space up above the tap room in the loft that we generally open because we get too busy. So you're going to find just a lot of happy, jolly people coming out of the cold. We do have fire pits outside. We'll have some things, if the weather cooperates a little bit, we will have some fire pits outside. But generally, if you find a lot of people, with a coat or a sweater on and a beer in their hand and just having a good time. It's the one time in the winter where we all really get together and kind of have a real fun community party. We have a brick oven pizza menu that you can choose from. We take a lot of pride in our ingredients. Everything's made from scratch, including the dough and the sauce. All of the toppings are cut fresh daily. And so you're not going to find a pizza like this throughout the area, especially that fresh. So we kind of take a lot of pride in that menu. Although it's a little bit smaller, we have expanded to some wings and a few other appetizers. But the idea is to keep it a little bit more simple and always fresh, like our beer. Yeah, again, community is a big part of our mission. I mentioned that earlier, but I think not just the local organizations, but just the customers. We're limited a little bit this time of year. It's a little bit slower. And so anything that we can do networking wise, getting groups in here or going somewhere and doing a sampling, we're looking for that extra exposure this time of year. So anytime customers come through the door, we're very appreciative, year round, of course, but especially this time of year. So we do appreciate all the support.